I have something I'm very curious to ask, which is what, from your perspectives, and I would need both of you guys to answer this, what, from both of your perspectives, was the hardest part about starting the firm, about 6 years ago? I'd be curious because it's going to be probably different answers. So the floor is yours.
I mean, the hardest part was just getting the deals done originally, raising the money we needed to get our first deal done, and our second deal done was very difficult. We didn't have a track record. We had to, failure wasn't an option. We just didn't stop, but it was not a simple path forward. We perhaps a bit too optimistic about the ability to raise money. If before you have a deal, you ask people if they're interested in investing. It's like, oh yeah, I'd love to invest. Once you bring them a deal, the tune changes, as I'm sure you've seen. So, we thought, and I had brought some money to some of those deals before we had met that I had partnered on. So, yeah, I think we thought it'll be easier than it actually was, and it was a lot harder than I think either of us anticipated. So, working through, that was eye opening, was a bit frightening, but when your back's up against the wall, you really find the way to get over that line and get through it, and then there's no looking back.
Yeah, putting your back against the wall is a cheat code in many respects, right? If you're desirous of accomplishing something really big, just as they say, putting your back against the wall or burning your boats is not fun, but it is very effective. I mean, it obviously lit a fire under us because you can't even call it motivation because how are it's not motivation, it's just life or death. Like that's how we
It's
felt, right?
whatever it takes.
It's just whatever it takes, right? So of course I'm going to get up and call every single person I know and ask them for money, right? That was a humbling, tough experience. And for me, the phone can weigh 800 pounds often. I don't want to call people and talk to people. Yeah, I know you'd have a hard time talking on the phone.
It took you a long time to be willing to meet people in person, even if
Totally.
you remember.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was not. I mean, now today it's very straightforward for us to look at our partnership and go, oh, well, that makes sense. Rob's the guy that is on the Zoom calls all the time, and he's the one that's doing the videos and the webinars, et cetera, et cetera. And you're on the back of house, but that wasn't the original vision, right? Both of us came into the business with this idea that marketing is not something that we're interested in, and we didn't want to necessarily do investor relations or market ourselves and things like that. Neither of us wanted that. But do or die, right? Out of necessity, I stepped up, and I'm very thankful that I did, and everything's worked out really well. But yeah, it was not a natural thing for us. So it was a very tough learning experience, very difficult. That was the hardest part. I really feel like at the beginning of the business, and why should it be any different? It just felt like we were going from one crisis to the next. And I know you feel that in a big way. It's just like one insurmountable existential thing to deal with to the next to the next. And it was with every hurdle that we overcame, I feel like we just added more, I don't know, strength to our armor and built up our confidence to now when we encounter an issue, it's of course stressful, but I feel like we have this element of, oh, we've been there before and we'll get through it again.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think we view challenges a whole lot differently now. We expect to find the way to get to the other side, and because we've done it so many times, and we're able to get there quicker because we're not as nervous about it, and we're confident there will be a way